Good morning to everybody. Sorry, I'm sure everyone can hear me. I know my voice can carry loudly, especially when I'm trying to get your attention. My name is Candy Richardson. I'm with Administaff, the nation's leading professional employer organization. We provide full-service HR services to small and medium-sized businesses. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to today's session, talking about how the new technologies can help small businesses succeed. So before we get started, I just wanted to go over a couple of housekeeping chores, if you will. In your seats, if you're not sitting on them, you will have found evaluation forms. At the end of the session, if you will, complete those forms and either leave them in your seat or hand them to me. I'll try to stand by the door and just hand them off. We do appreciate you taking the time to provide the feedback, as we do use your feedback, your information, in developing the programs for 2011. So we'd like to make this a great learning experience for you, and we'd like to address all the questions that you might have. The panel here would like to address all those questions. They may ask that you hold your questions until the end of the session. If so, if you will please jot down your questions so you don't forget them, and at the end of the session, then we'll take questions and answers, or they will provide answers. Yeah, I keep needing to qualify that because no way am I going to. But anyway, so let me go ahead and introduce the panelists. First, we have in the middle Richard Naslund with Microsoft Corporation. And Richard has 29 years experience in the technology industry and currently serves as the Director of Global Strategy, Commercial Technical Support at Microsoft. Whew, wow. That's a long one. In addition, Richard also serves as Chairman at the Irving Chambers Technology Leadership Council. And to the left of Richard, we have John Arnott with Wave 2. And John is the Managing Partner of Wave 2, a technology consulting firm which he founded in 2004. Wave 2 uses the latest advances in business intelligence and enterprise systems to solve business problems for hospital systems, physicians' practices, and other professional services firms. And then to the far right, we have Jason Swords. And Jason is a business account executive for Verizon Wireless. He's been in the wireless telecommunications industry for the last 8 years. The last 5 years, he's been with Verizon Wireless. Jason specializes in assisting small to medium-sized businesses becoming more productive and more efficient in their day-to-day business using cutting-edge wireless technology. So thank you guys for being here. And John, I'm going to go ahead and let you begin the discussion, if you will.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning. It's a great turnout, isn't it? Today we're talking about how well is your business connected. So I'm assuming everyone in this room can think of one area where connectivity is pretty important. Today in the world of having a website, is that right? Okay. Everyone in the room has a great website, correct? It looks good, it's got great content, people are always coming to it, right? No, not really. How many of you would really like to get more traffic to your site? Good. Get people coming in, looking and staying on your site, and do it in an inexpensive way. So today that's our goal. We're going to show you some techniques that we're using with some of our clients, and we talk about the first step. So Kenny, if you would do me a favor, we have a handout, so you don't have to take a lot of copious notes of links and places to go on this sheet of paper right here. And I'm going to step you through an approach that we use with our clients to help you get visible. And I'm talking about our goal is today, when you leave here today, this afternoon, you should be able to use some of these techniques to go into these local sites, sign up, and all of a sudden we'll talk about how you're going to start moving traffic to your place in about 4 to 8 weeks. Okay. Also, to make room for the three of us talking today, I'm going to go through the highlights of this. At the end of this session, if we have time, I'll show you some demonstrations on our laptop for some connectivity. So today, let me talk about these things. First of all, when you think about your website, there really is only two simple ways that search engines, that is, the major search engines, Bing, Yahoo, Google, find your business, find your information. They're looking for content. They're looking for those keywords that you have in your website, all the pages that talk about, let's say you're in a printing business and you have a great 3-color process, and then you have on your website descriptions of how that works, etc. And historically, that has been the single way to get visible on your sites. Over the last 7 or 8 years, especially 7 or 8 years ago, that was the way. Content was king. When those search engines went to look at your site, they were comparing you against, when you typed in 3-color process, they looked at every single page on the internet to see which had the most compelling content. And when 15% of us were only using websites 7 years ago, believe it or not, that was pretty easy to do. Today, what are we at? 90, 95% of every business? In fact, if you don't have a website, there's an old saying, it's becoming a new saying, you're not in business. So with all this competition, what the engines have done is they've looked at other ways to parse the people. And the other way, the main one, are inbound links. Now, what's an inbound link? That is your URL, the name of your website, sitting on somebody else's website, but pointing right to you. Not going back and forth, but someone who says, this is an important site. For example, if I can get Microsoft to point to my Wave 2 site, do you think that's a good thing? Yes, it is. Seriously, it is. They're not only looking at the number of links coming in, which is a big deal, they're also looking at the stature of who's pointing to you. So if you can get major websites, databases, organizations that are in your industry pointing to you, what the search engine does is real simple. They do something called page ranking, and they said all of a sudden they will just bring you up in that particular fashion. Now, historically, getting those inbound links has been very, very tough. When we first started this business many years ago, I literally had people making phone calls, sending emails, asking people, would you put a link on your site and point here? Fortunately, we've come up some ways and techniques that are on this piece of paper that are going to help us. First of all, how many of you are familiar with local search? Oh my. Okay, get your pencils out. Local search. This is on Google and on Bing. 2 things you have to be on. You should be on it by the end of the week. Is today, well, actually just 18 months ago, where's my phone? Oh, don't have my phone. Give your phone. Is it a Microsoft phone? Neither was mine. Okay. This is what's changed it all. It used to be when you did a search and you did a local business, and let's say you're looking for pizza, and you went on your website, or you're looking for the church, what time the church is open, or you're looking for a printer, you went to your website at home, your desktop, and you searched it in. Today, you got smartphones. So now, what was like 2-3% of searches are now 15% of all searches. So what this is a green field for you in this room here. People are shifting the way they look for things, not just websites making them bigger, better, more attractive. They're looking using the local search tools. What started out were maps, Google Maps, Bing Maps, Yahoo Maps, etc., have now gone into the same thing, have morphed into what we call local search. So when you go in and you click on, let's say, for our clients, for example, I have a number of physicians in California, very high traffic area, plastic surgeons, Botox, very, very, very competitive. We have got them over the top by using local search. We take, for example, if you go into Bing, it's almost a mini website, what you have. Pictures, photographs, text, your key phrases, you put them all in there. And then when people do a search, that comes up. And by the way, guess what just happened? It's pointing to your website. So you get your first your first inbound link is from that. You do it with Google, and I'll show you that later. So that's 2. But another thing happens along the way. Other organizations use Google and Bing for sourcing their data. Yellow Page companies, internet companies. Other people are looking for data. So that's step 1. Step 2 is outside there are database companies that are, once you're on those local searches and the data is there, you can go, and there's 2 particular websites around here. You want to circle these. These are the 800-pound gorillas of data. Every single commercial business in Canada and the US are on those two websites, InfoUSA and Axiom. And they have huge subscribers that feed about 170 known databases. We don't know how many there really are. Customers who use that data